Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful Monday with us. This month of August is almost a wrap, as they say. This is August the 29th of 2022. I am your host, astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn. The show you are now watching is Live with Lloyd, and as you see, our beautiful guest will be with us in just a moment. Our sister Athena, who is a psychic medium. And before I bring her on, and in fact, she is as a result of me seeing her on King Simon's show. So yes, I watched King Simon's show. That's how I got the Kendall Cobb, the hypnotists, and other people. And I said, "Oh, can I give them a call?" Aquarius Maximus, things like that. So I give King Simon his credit, and you'll see why I asked her to come on too. But before we start, though, I want to let you know about the cosmic forecast that I always do. And it's Live with Lloyd, where the joy of numerology is the joy of learning and enlightenment. Please like, share, and subscribe. One day I will be saying this several times as I hear these people on these other segments when I watch. Like, but my attitude is this: if you genuinely like it, fine, just click like. If you really want to share because there are other people that could use the information from the variety of guests I have on, definitely do that. And please subscribe so you can stay in touch or keep up with what's going on. But today is Monday, the 29th of 2022. The sun is in the sign of Leo. The moon is in the sign of Libra, not Gemini. Okay. It went into Libra at 5:28 this morning, I do believe. So my bad on that. It is a 5 universal month. That's correct. It's a 7 universal week. That's correct too. And it is a 7 universal day. So if you are a Cancer or Pisces or born on the 2nd, the 7th, the 11th, the 16th, the 20th, the 25th, or the 29th of any month, this should be a significant day for you. And before I definitely bring our distinguished guest on, Sister Athena, I want to thank these people here. This was a picture taken outside of Nicholas, Brooklyn. Nicholas, Brooklyn on Saturday the 27th. To the right, I think everybody knows that. That's Brother King Simon. That beautiful lady there in the pink, that is Monique, who runs Nicholas Brooklyn. She's been running that bookstore for about it's got to be over 20 years, but she is really something else. And I advise all of y'all to go to 1396 Fulton Fulton Street on in Brooklyn. Visit her place. Tell her Lloyd Strayhorn sent you. The brother with the red cap, well, that's Brother Rich. Okay, that's my buddy. And in fact, he interviews everybody. And on he did an interview on me, and I told him I want to interview him. So he agreed. So we'll work that out. And of course, the person on the right is yours truly. I thought was interesting when I looked at the pictures, if you look at the right of Simon and Monique, they both have their right leg extended. If you look at Brother Rich and myself, we both got our left leg extended. I'm saying that's interesting. I don't know what that means, but for people who do the art of photography and looking at stuff like that, I thought it was interesting. With King Simon and Brother Rich, their legs were more extended. With Monique and I, our legs was less extended. Have no idea what that means, but I just want to say thank you. It was a very enjoyable event. It was supposed to, it went from 6 to 9. They lied. It went to about 6, almost 12 o'clock, midnight. But it was a very nice thing. So I wanted to thank them and I wanted to acknowledge them for that. That was a very good event. So now, without further ado, I want to get me on and say, hey, everybody, thank you very much for joining us. And I am about to bring my distinguished guest on now, Sister Athena. Athena, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. As I was telling our viewers, I saw you on King Simon's show. And so I just says, wow, that's why I check out Simon's show so I can have some guests on, okay?
That's good.
Um, you are a psychic medium. Now, sometimes there's the word psychic and then there's the word medium. Now, you put both of them together. Are they separate or you merged them both? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess in with the kind of work that I do, I've kind of merged them both. But I do have them also separate.
What led
So
you? What led you to do this? You know, I've had other people on. They said that I had Ellison Nedra on. She said as a little child she would see things or feel things or try to tell people. Did you ever have that experience? Because most people I notice in what you do, this doesn't happen like 5 years ago, like you bumped your head or something. This seemed to go back in childhood. What was your experience that led up to this?
uh, as a child, I definitely I didn't see things. I just felt things. I did not see them. I didn't see them. I didn't start seeing things until I was in my 20s. And then the
Hmm.
gates were open. It was just like a flood of every. I was like, oh my God, it was just so much. But when I was younger, I didn't see things. I don't think I could have handled it anyway. So I guess that was the best thing. But I started, I would say maybe 4 or 5, 6. I kind of knew that, I had some kind of gift,
Hmm.
although I
Hmm.
wasn't necessarily using it for other people. I mean, I would tell my mother things sometimes, but she wouldn't necessarily respond to it in a way where it was like validating. It was just like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But I used to hear angels, angel voices all the time, calling me, and it was beautiful, actually, the sound of it. Really,
Hmm.
really
Hmm.
beautiful.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm looking around like, who is talking to me? Who's calling me? That kind of thing. They never said more than my name though, but they said my entire name. Not my last name, but just Athena, you know. They didn't use the I either. So it's good.
Interesting. Interesting.
They knew. So it just turned out to be a thing where as I got older, I began to just I don't know. I guess I saw the world a little differently, and I saw people differently as well. Even friends, even friendships. Everything was a little different. I'd say I was a different kind of child, even though I could actually fit in as well. I had both sides. I was a little awkward and dorky, but not really. Not you wouldn't know that. You wouldn't see that. Like my outward appearance wouldn't show that. But I was. So
Yeah.
I could fit in wherever. I could be with the top people, the medium, and the bottom, who you would consider bottom. But I always resonated with who people were as opposed to who they presented themselves to be.
Whoa, that's deep.
Right.
I
And
like that.
that's even as a child, even as a child.
Well, let me ask you this. See, now because that sprung up a question in my mind, and it's
Hmm.
been asked of me, Lloyd, if you dating or dealing with somebody, do you know their numbers? I said, no, I don't look at their numbers. I don't read their numbers like that. What in your case, in going through relationships, teenager, dating, engagements, or marriage, or children, did you ever pick up on things like that? You were dealing with people, or the people that you were involved with, it was kind of like kind of off. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I would say in my adolescent, up to teen, mid-teen, I had friendships and boyfriends and whatever.
Hmm. Hmm.
We did a little experiment and little things.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I knew that there was one particular one who was very, very much in my life before. I mean, it was no doubt in my mind that he was in my life before. And
Hmm.
I also knew that we would never be together in this lifetime. And we
Interesting.
tried several times because we had such a chemistry, but our paths was so different.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I really had a very deep love for him. But they made sure by the time I was in I think I was about 30 something. And there was an event that took place because he would go and he'd date other people. And when he wasn't dating and I wasn't dating, we'd come back together. It was a regular repeated pattern. But this
Hmm.
particular time when it happened, there was no going back. So they made sure, they were like, okay, we've had enough of this. The
Now, when
universe,
you say they, were they the
my
angel,
guides,
the source, or parents, or relatives?
God, no, God.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
That's one. So yeah, my parent,
Yeah, yeah.
God. He was like,
Okay.
okay, enough. He, no, just whatever. That source, that energy was like, no, this is enough now. You're not going to be together. That's it. No more coming together. No more playing games. That's it, you know? So, because the event was bad enough that I couldn't go back, you know? I
Hmm.
can't necessarily say what it was because it
No,
wasn't
no,
my
it's not
event.
about that. Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
wasn't my event. So, you know, but still, it was, even that was a little devastating because of the love that we both had for one
sure,
another.
sure, sure.
Yeah. So
That's
out of other,
interesting
and there were other
connection.
people too. Huh? Say it again.
No, I've said that that sounds so interesting.
Yeah.
Um, so what about marriage or children? Did you go through any of those stages too, or
Yeah.
whatever?
Well, before I got to marriage, I had a boyfriend who was like the most unbelievable liar you ever heard of him. I mean, one of the people, the kind of person that would lie about every and anything for nothing. Like, I mean, it was just ridiculous. And you know, like you could, he'd say I was here and you passed by and he was there, or you know, just whatever. And I'm like, what kind of person does that, you know? And he, I don't even know, he's a military person now. Like, I don't know, but
That's
still,
interesting. There are some people like that,
I know, it was
and when you
unbelievable.
ask them why, they
They don't have an answer for it. They just do it. They just do it. And so that was an interesting relationship. I think I was about 17 at the time. That was very interesting. It also gave me my intuitive tools a little bit more because I'd be like, he's not telling truth. Let me go see this. Or let me go over
yeah,
here. Or,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so it was that kind of thing. I'm
He
like,
helped
what kind of,
he helped hone your skills. That's what he did, right?
a teeny bit. Yeah, a little bit. I got somebody else to do that a little later on. So I'm telling you. And you know, because that catalyst is like that push. It's like that you know, like when you read the story and there's the villain and then there's the person that's whatever, you know, that villain, and that's, you know, sometimes brings out that energy
Sure,
of
sure,
power and
sure.
of enlightenment or whatever's in there that's hiding, that needs
Hmm.
to come out. It kind of has to come out because you got to deal with a bunch of
Yeah, yeah.
people that you don't
Yeah.
necessarily need to deal with for long term.
What about were you able to foresee about I think I'm going to be conceived or about one of your children? If you have, do you have children?
Oh yes, I have three. One
And
boy, two girls.
was there any case of those instances where intuitively you knew either a boy was coming or a girl, or
Oh, absolutely.
you
Every
knew
single
you were
time I knew.
pregnant before you were pregnant? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Little things.
yeah. Like
It's
I, you
hard to
know,
read ourselves.
yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. With my son, um, I don't drink, right? I don't drink. I don't smoke, and I don't do anything to alternate the
Hmm. Hmm.
this little vehicle thing I have going on here. I don't do anything, and not because I haven't tried anything. It's just that nothing works for me, and it doesn't work well for my body.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I was in college, and my boyfriend, which is my son's father, he decided he was going to make me strawberry daiquiris. You know, I love strawberries, and I don't drink, so I don't. You know, I'm like, okay. So he made me strawberry daiquiris, and he put whatever, you know, whatever
I
goes
know
in it.
he
What's a
did.
daiquiri, right? I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't drink. So we're in the room, we're having a good time, just you know, playing and doing whatever. And I'm drinking this, and it's so sweet. It's so good. Oh my gosh, it was iced. It was,
Yeah, yeah.
oh my god, it was good. I had to go to the bathroom.
Hmm.
When I got up, that was it. The room was like a, you know,
Hmm.
that night, I'm just sharing with the world.
Sure,
That
sure.
night, I conceived my son, and I knew it right away. I was like, oh my God, no, because I wasn't ready. I didn't want to, but I was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I had already made a pact with myself that if I wasn't married, not married, if I didn't have a child by 25, that I wasn't having any because that was, you know, I was not that kind of girl. I was
Sure,
like kind of tomboyish and kind of, you know, whatever.
sure,
And that
sure.
was not in my forecast, so I thought. But I wound up with three. So yes, I got pregnant because I was drinking with my son, and that was
Mhm.
okay. It was what it was.
Daiquiri, I will admit, it was a good daiquiri.
It was excellent. Oh my God, I never did it again, but it was so good. Never did it again. I was like, oh no, never again. So, you know, that was my son, but I knew right away that I was pregnant. I mean, that night, I was like,
Interesting.
that night. And then with my second daughter, my first daughter, sorry, I knew when I got pregnant with her as well. And with her, I got a message that her name should be what it is.
Hmm.
And her father's name is Zachary,
Hmm.
and her name is Zakara.
I
And
like that.
they told me how to spell it though, and I didn't realize that it would matter. You know, Zakara is like the first place in Egypt where they made the first pyramids, and I
Hmm.
don't know. I don't know if they're necessarily experimental pyramids, but they're the
Hmm.
first pyramids and everything.
Hmm.
And I didn't realize that it would be an issue that he would want her name to be like his name, but they gave me the name to name her, and so I knew when I was pregnant with her right away as well, right away. And then my last daughter, it was amazing when I found out that I not when I found out, well, yeah, when I found out, right after doing the thing,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was like, uh-oh. But that one, it's like I felt this opening. It was like a rush, like a whoosh. And I knew, I was like, uh-oh. Like,
It was
oh
one of
no,
those.
but I
Yeah. Yeah.
really felt it. And literally I saw it here. I literally
Interesting.
saw the movement and everything. I was like, okay, here we go again. And this is from
Yeah.
somebody who was not, as I thought, destined to be a mom. So,
Yeah. Now, I want to ask you a question because sometimes in certain circles, people have a problem with what I do, although I don't have a problem.
no, you should
Has
not.
anybody ever challenged you about, oh, this psychic stuff is like poo hoo or anything like that? And if so, how do you deal with it? Because I've had that, especially from certain religious segments of the community.
All right. I mean, I let them have their viewpoint. That's all.
Yeah.
I don't argue my
Will they
viewpoint. I
accept
don't.
your viewpoint, though? That's
It
the
doesn't.
point.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter to me. It's a all it is a the idea that everybody has their path, everybody has their thing that they're going to do,
Yes.
everybody.
Yes.
And if they're not ready to see something bigger than themselves and to know something really bigger than themselves or to
Mm-hmm.
learn or to do whatever, there's nothing you can do about that. And I don't argue the point. I don't try to convince anybody. That's politically and or spiritually. I don't even argue about religion because religion for me is not the answer. Religion for me is kind of like a box, and you got to
Yeah.
stay in that box. And I'm not in
It
that
doesn't
box.
allow any wiggle room. You know what
Huh?
I'm saying?
Say
It
it again.
doesn't allow any wiggle room. You
No,
know?
no, no. You gotta stay.
Yeah.
You better stay in there. You better do. You gotta do what they say. That's it. I'm not in the. I'm outside of that box looking in, going. You're not ready to get out of there yet, ain't you? Ain't you hot? Ain't you tired of being in there? Like, don't you want to
Yeah.
stretch some? Don't you want to?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't have time for it. I don't argue with people. I just do what I have to do. And if they eventually come in my direction, because I've had a friend who was very psychic, but she kept running back to religion over and over again. It was like, because it was like her comfort zone, but
Mm-hmm.
every time she did, it would cause issues because that really wasn't what she was supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
She was
Hmm.
kind of dulling herself down, dumbing herself down. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? She had
Yeah.
this light, she had this brilliance, she had this energy, but she would dull it down. And then she would leave and then she'd get more into whatever and she'd do it again, go back in. She stopped as of now, but it was just fear that kept her going back and forth.
Now, one more question, because then we're gonna open it up because I see there's a lot of comments in the comment section.
Okay.
What made you, or what happened, or what was the catalyst that says, I think I'm going to do this full time or for a living, or however you want to describe it? Or do you have a 9 to 5 and then you do this separately? I take it from seeing you on King Simon that this is what you do. This is your
This is
commitment.
this is this is my thing. I've been doing it for years, actually, and
Yeah, yeah.
but I wasn't doing it on a platform. I was just doing it word of mouth here and there. I wasn't, even though it was a business, it wasn't a business. My thing is when I set something up and I start doing it, it's like, okay, and I have people go, and then it's like, bang, it's not there anymore, and then I have to start again, over and over and over. And I've learned some things within the last 2 years as to why that is. That's another story, but I've learned
Hmm.
why that is. And it has nothing to do with me because I was like, I don't get it. Other people can do it and just let it flow. It would never really flow. And I said, something has to be going on. There has to be something's going on behind the scenes that I'm not seeing, because this just not normal, you know. And I
Mm,
found out that there is something going on behind the scenes. So that's another story, like I said. But I have been doing it basically since I was about 25.
mhm,
About
mhm,
25.
mhm,
Yep.
mhm.
And you know, it was an interesting walk. You know, I started with tarot cards, then I worked with the runes, I worked with I ching, I worked with um, there was another divination thing I used. I'm not sure. I don't remember what it is. And then after that, you know, because what happens with the cards and with everything else, it's like you got to keep doing it, and you got to keep throwing to get the story. You know, I was like,
Mhm.
I know there's got to be a better way to this. There's got to, you know, I know I could do better than this. What's going on? So it was tiring, you know. But what happened is during the time of I was kind of getting tired of doing that. I found myself studying universal laws, right? But I wasn't just studying them. I was moving in them. Like, I want to say this is the weirdest thing, but I was literally studying them and being drawn in to the laws as I studied them. So I
Mhm.
was
Mhm.
experiencing them, not just
Yeah.
reading it. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But
And it was
in the experience of it.
in the experience of it. Even I wasn't even trying to do that. It was just happening, literally
Mhm.
just happening.
Mhm.
And I remember one time I went to go pick up my son from school. He was in what, second grade and third grade, and I went to pick him up, and I was in a schoolyard. This is in Brooklyn, you know, and they come out, and everybody, all the parents out in the yard and everything. And I realized I was sitting there and I could hear no sound. And I'm looking around like, what the heck? I heard nothing. There was so many people. People were talking. People were da, da, da. And I forgot which particular universal law I was studying at the time. But in the moment, I was immersed in the universal law, and I didn't realize it. You know, even the kids started coming out. You know, they come out and they're rambunctious and crazy. Ah,
Yeah, yeah. You can't
I
go in the
couldn't hear.
schoolyard without a lot of noise.
Right,
Okay.
I could hear nothing. I was totally immersed in that energy. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. I don't know how this is happening, but it's amazing, you know? And then, you know, I was able to pop out of it, and I was like, okay, that's a little deep, but all right, I got you. I got you, God. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
for
Well, you
telling
be
me.
talking to yourself.
Then we see, we like this. Okay. So it was interesting. It really was interesting. And but that also helped me move to my next the next stage of it, and that was having an initiation of sorts. And it happened with me kind of elevating my spiritual level. My
Hmm.
guides, you know, we all have guides,
Yep, yep,
GUIDES. We
yep.
all have guides. From the moment we come in, we have guides, sometimes two, sometimes three.
Yeah.
But, you know, my guides changed immediately. They haven't changed in any way here and there, but this time they really changed, and I could see them, and
Hmm.
they were huge. I mean, like huge, like at least 7 to 8 feet tall, 8 feet tall, not even
Hmm.
seven, about 8 feet tall or bigger. And
Hmm.
they I couldn't see their faces because they were covered, you know, like with
Hmm.
this almost like a golden kind of whatever, hooded
Hmm.
whatever.
Hmm. Hmm.
But they were my guides. And then after that, I just kind of went through that initiation. And once I finished that, I was actually able to work my psychic thing without cards, without anything. It just started coming in.
Wow,
So
that's nice.
yeah,
Evidently, some portal must have opened in your
yeah,
spirit, and
yeah.
just that
They
was
said,
it.
"Oh, she's ready. She's ready." Yeah.
Now,
So
speaking of ready, I see we got a number of people that are ready. I want to ask you because this is the first on my show. Everybody's got their style. Do you take a question, or does a person? A lot of times they'll just have their name and a birthday, and maybe a question, or does it matter, or you just
usually, well, if they can just use their name, I guess. It is it a way to show me who they are or no?
yes, yes, it'll be at the bottom of your screen.
Okay.
I'm gonna show. We're gonna pick one right now just to see. Um, my buddy here. You see his name, Francis Rebels Bay.
I don't see anything. Oh, down here. All right, I
Yes.
need my glasses because that's
Yeah,
really
well, you
good
go
over
right
here.
ahead, dear. You go right ahead, okay? Because I
They're
use
in the
glasses
other room.
too.
Like you can't go out there. Oh, because the dogs. Come read this for me. Oh, you don't have nothing on. You can't come over here. 1 second. I'll have my
Yes.
daughter read it for me because I cannot see that. That is way too small.
Yeah, well, I can
What's
read it
his
to you in
name?
the meantime. His name is
What's his?
Francis Rebels Bay, and in fact, I can read it to you if you don't.
Okay, just read it to me.
Yes,
Francis Rebel Bay.
yes. He says, "Greeting, brother Lloyd and sister Athena. Wonderful insight." So,
Blessing.
what do you pick up on Francis Rebel Bay? His name, Rebels Bay.
Okay. What day was he born and what month?
He
Not
didn't
year.
have. He didn't put his birthday, but I know he's born March the 16th.
Okay. Francis Rebels Bay, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell him to send me his face. Tell me to send, tell him in his head to send me his face.
Interesting.
And tell him to let me know when he's done. Can you do that? Can you get that message or
I have no way. I'd have to
okay,
scroll
don't
through.
worry
There's
about it. Don't
so
worry.
many, but I'm almost sure there's knowing
Okay.
Brother Rebels Bay as I do. He
Okay.
has probably or sending.
He's hearing me anyway, so
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something that he's been thinking a lot about, really thinking a lot about. They said it's time to do the damn thing. It's time to start the movement, start to do whatever it is that he's been really contemplating and thinking and thinking and thinking about. It's time to get on it and really start doing it. Um, and he has to get rid of the distractions. He has to move them on out the way. He has to get rid of the distractions and really get focused.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. All righty.
And the focus is needed for attention to detail. So he has to move the distractions out of the way. Even
Okay.
if it's temporarily, he has to
Mm-hmm.
move the distractions out of the way.
Okay. We're gonna go to some other people. I'm gonna start back. Wow, so many people have come on. Let's see. Um, let's see. This person is Latasha Monique. She says, "Greetings, chat."
Greetings. Blessings.
And
Latasha, just
birthday.
Latasha?
Yeah, Latasha Monique. Is that her? That's how she describes her name.
Okay. Tell her to send her face to me. She can hear me. Tell her to send herself to me. All right. She's got some. Okay. How I'm seeing this is though it's a silhouette, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the person's sideways. And behind her, I see a buildup of hurt and pain.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a fire sort of behind that. Well, it's not behind it, it's sort of to the side of it, almost behind it. It's like almost like holding it in place. She
Mm-hmm.
has to get some help with clearing that energy out. I don't mean a psychologist or anything. I just mean however she chooses, and I do work with people like that, but she
Mm-hmm.
just has a lot of hurt and pain that's kind of just sitting there. And although it's out of the way on some level, it's not out of the way. It needs to be gone.
Okay. Now, at the end, we're going to have how people can be able to get in touch with you, whether you can get more specific, I would imagine, right?
Absolutely.
Good. Good. And Stephen Williams out of Chicago, he in the midst says, hit the like button. Yes, y'all hit the like button because, as I said, I'll mention it at the top of this show, and oftentimes I'll even forget to mention it. But hit the like button, subscribe button, and share button. Yeah, I knew there were three of them, and a bell,
Absolutely.
something like that. They got
Right.
anyway. Let's see. This is from Oral Cal T. Peace, love, and light to all. What would you pick up from her?
What's her name?
Oracal T.
Oracal T.
Yes.
That's different.
Yeah.
That's very different. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tell her to send her face to me. From what I see, she's kind of like discovering some things. Not exactly open to the journey, but she's opening. Um,
Mm-hmm.
she has some reservations. She's kind of not. She's on board and she's not on board with the spiritual thing. I mean, she's not exactly um, positioned as this is my path and that's what I'm going to do. But that's what she needs to be doing because she has some gifts that she needs to work with and open up.
Okay. I have seemed like there was a question I wanted to ask you, and I'll think of it in a moment. In the meantime, though, this person here is a good evening, you two brothers and sisters. She's 101064. Her name is Charlene Adams. She wants a reading on job opportunities and the home.
Job opportunities and her home.
Yes, and home. Yes.
Does she work from home?
It doesn't say. She just said
Because that's
opportunities and
all
home.
right. What's her name again?
Her name is Charlene Adams.
Spell
Charlene Adams.
Charlene.
Oh, and this is about to
Charlene.
say,
Huh?
that's what I wanted to ask you. I'm so sorry. For those who may not understand, they may say, how do I send my face to you? I know that sounds, see, you and I understand
Yeah.
it.
Right.
But I'm thinking of a layperson where this is like totally new. And, how do I send my face to you? So,
Well,
what
what
would you
happens
advise them to do it properly to get the kind of connection you need to do the reading you need to do with them in that sense?
if they're focused in on me, and they
Mhm.
are even if their face doesn't come, and if they're focused on me, then their energy comes. So either way, I'm getting it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's so I still can pick it up, but they just need to be focused, and that's really what I'm doing, giving them focus, pushing
Okay.
them
So,
in that direction.
so for those of you who happen to call or pick or select, when you do, just focus your energies towards my guest, Athena, psychic medium. Okay. Some will probably do it better than others, but I do apologize for interrupting Charlene Adams because I think you were picking up something at the time. Go ahead.
Okay. So say again, Charlene Adams.
Charlene Adams, she is 101064, and the reading is about job opportunities and the home.
Okay. Tell her to send herself to me again. Um, hmm. I'm really picking up more on some health issues that she may have. I'm not really picking up on the job issue.
Hmm.
Let me just see. They're not focusing on job or home. Well, this home. They're focusing on this home, not her home. It's really focusing on her health. She needs to really focus. She can contact me later if we want to go further into that.
Yeah.
But her health, she has to really focus in on her heart and her and her release, like her large intestines. There's some kind of something going on energetically as well as physically
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
those areas. And that seems to be more important to the universe than the question that she's actually asking. Um, say her name again.
Charlene Adams.
There's some levels in the body that are off. Um, there are a couple of things. Tell her I want her to contact me. That's all I'm going to
Okay.
say.
Okay.
For sure. Tell
I,
her to contact me.
I more than understand.
Yeah.
Uh, Tanya K. She says, "Good evening to all on this beautiful day." She is September the 15th of 72. Please for career and family info. And by the way, for those that are the viewers, she won't be able to do extended readings per se. So it's like whatever first impression she gets, and then I have to keep it moving. But that's the whole point then of giving out your information on your
Right.
banner. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we have a contact number, but if you do, we're going to make sure that that's included when
Okay.
we get to that point. So, what do you have to say about Tanya K, who was born on the 15th of September next month?
Tell her to send her energy to me.
Okay.
All right. And she had a question about what?
Um,
Career?
her question, right, was about career and family. Yes.
Okay. And say her name one more time.
Tanya K, Kay. Tanya K.
Okay. I'm going to go to family. Um, somebody in the house, family, or whatever has a mental imbalance. She can't answer that at this point, but it seems like there's like a mental imbalance, something that's a little off in the chemistry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's something she's going to have to attend to um, as soon as she can. Diet can help a little bit
Mm-hmm.
with that, a little bit. So it's between diet and some other um, help.
Okay.
I have dogs, so if you hear barking,
Don't worry. I'm in New York City. Okay.
oh,
So
okay.
you like to hear
I,
anything coming down the block,
right,
sirens,
and I have five
whatever.
dogs. Okay, five.
Really,
I'm
really.
a mother of five for
You
dogs.
know, it's interesting. Normally, Sagittarians have pets. Three people have pets born on the 3rd, the 12th, the 21st, the 30th. May I ask what month and day you born?
I am June 19th.
Really, a Gemini.
Yes.
Okay, so three must be somewhere either in your destiny or something. But because of having 5 dogs. I think 3 dogs and 5 children. That's very interesting. You got to.
My moon is Sagittarius,
Okay, there you go. All righty,
and
there you go.
my ascending is Scorpio.
Okay, but I knew Sagittarius, yeah, because that's the
Yeah,
half man, half horse energy, and they have a love of animals and pets love them and all this other stuff. So
yeah,
anyway, I was just curious. Thank you for letting me get in your business for half a second.
yeah, yeah. That's okay.
Okay, we're gonna take Corius Hollis this time. They're born 6/3/75. So Corius, I hope I'm saying your name properly. If you can send an image, if you can't think of sending your picture to her mentally, just focus on her so she can pick up on the energy. Would that be the best way to put it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah. Corius, you said?
Yes. Cori Corius, Corius. I hope I'm pronouncing their name correctly. Corius Hollis. It's a he. He made
Okay,
that clear. And
all
he's
right.
a Gemini like you.
I was getting ready to say Gemini power in the house.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I heard it 6'3". Corius. Say the last name again.
Hollis.
Okay.
Hollis.
Okay. The energy is also carried in the name, of course. Like in the middle of my readings, while I'm doing them, I always ask people to say their names. Like if the energy starts dying down, excuse me, I have them say their name to me, their full name. So I'll just say your name. So I tell them that in the beginning as well,
Hmm.
because the energy of the person is carried that way as well. And I have to reassure them that I don't have Alzheimer's. It is really about the name and the energy.
No, no,
Okay.
I'm going to explain as soon as you finish because it's more than just a notion what you're saying, the science
Oh,
behind it. Yes.
okay.
So
Glorious
Corius Hollis,
house.
June 3rd, 75.
Okay. Well, let me see. Now, did he ask a question or did he just want me to tell him
No,
something? Right?
just
Good.
his
Okay.
birthday,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that he was
Okay.
born in Thomaston, Georgia.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. All right, there's something going on behind the scenes. Whatever he does for work or whatever he's doing, there's something going on behind the scenes, like some chatter, some kind of talking, some kind of, I don't know, even, I don't know, there's something that's being discussed. I don't know if he's trying to figure out, even at this time, if he's trying to make a move of some kind. And that doesn't mean like moving out of the where he's living or moving. I think it's more towards the job or whatever he's doing. Make a move. Like he's thinking about it. He's not making the move. He's still in the thought process for it. But sometimes when we're ready to be finished with something, we're finished with it way before our physical bodies are done.
Hmm.
Our,
Hmm.
our energies elsewhere, everything, mind, everything else. It's something that he's kind of contemplating on, like, you know, bolting. He wants to bolt, go. He's ready to do
Yeah,
something different. He wants to, but he still has to walk the walk. He has to kind of take kind of like baby steps. Not a little better, not baby steps, more like you know, you know, more like 8-year old steps, not baby steps. Just not like quick, 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 but
yeah,
just he has to move at a nice pace to to do whatever he's trying to do. But there is some chatter, some kind of whatever, and I don't know if that has to do with if it's negative or positive. It doesn't need to fall into ears of some people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's all.
I definitely understand that part.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. All right, let's go to someone else. This is Jaslyn Kelly. Good evening, everyone. So thankful for this YouTube. Can I please have a romance and future career reading? I want to ask you this before you do with Jaslyn Kelly. Most people either ask me about romance or romance. Do you encounter that too?
Yeah, but usually when I start the reading, I kind of refocus the energy to what they need to know more. They can get that answered as well, but I kind of started off with, you know, what it is their guides, their
Mm-hmm.
people
Mm-hmm.
want them to
Mm-hmm.
focus on. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we get caught up in what we want and what we think is important, and that's not that important.
And we're
Not
not
in the
paying attention to the source. That's what you're saying.
right, they're not paying attention in the whole scheme of things. So
Yeah.
I usually start with what they need to know and then move from there. You know,
Okay. So this is Jaslyn Kelly. You see it there, and it says, "Good day, everyone. So thankful for this YouTube. Could I please have a romance and future career reading?" And she's November 18th, by the way.
November 18th. All right,
Hmm.
so Jaslyn
Kelly.
Kelly, tell her to send her energy to me.
All right. You heard Jaslyn. Send your energy, focus, or whatever.
Romantically, at this time, I don't see any movement right now. I see that she needs to do some work on her heart chakra because it's a little bit of damage there, and it's not going to let her move forward freely to
Hmm.
open up to anybody. So she's going to have to do some work there. What was the other question?
Um, and a future career. The romance part you answered. Now is about the more career side
And
in terms
even
of.
if she is in a relationship, she still has to do some heart chakra work. There's some doubt. Sometimes we put up with things we don't necessarily have to put up with, and it does do damage, whether we
Okay,
know it or not. Okay.
makes sense. Makes
Yep.
sense. Makes sense.
And the other question was again, I'm sorry.
Future career.
Oh, future career.
Mm-hmm.
Say the name one more time.
Uh, Jaslyn Kelly.
There's something that's going to come up for her that she's really going to like. She's going to have to be a little patient, a little bit patient. It's because it won't be until maybe November-ish, December-ish that it comes up. Um, and it's something that she likes. She'll like what she's doing. And it's important for her to like what she's doing because if she doesn't, she definitely won't stay. She
Mhm.
definitely won't stay. She'll be miserable and she won't stay. So she has to really find something that she really, really enjoys doing. So if she does get anything in between that time, and we have this is August, September, October. So if something else comes up, okay, so be it. But it looks like there's something that you're going to really enjoy doing in November and December.
Okay, that's interesting. Those are her months, and I will say this for her, the question because she is in both what is called a finance and romance cycle. Although she mentioned romance first, and then the career or finance, the cycle she's in, which is an 8 personal year, that deals with the finances first. and then the romance. I did a lecture out in Brooklyn with King Simon, and I was explaining that women, you, and I'm sure you heard women will say there
Yeah.
is no romance without some finance. So finance is in her case this time. But let me say this before we go to the next person. When you were
Okay.
talking about the name, yes, it is true. Each letter in the name has a numerical value, thus a numerical frequency attached to it.
Right.
And what you see, you pick it up on one way, and I pick it up another way. Because before going to the show today, coming on today, I had to stop at a store, and the ladies, she had this kind of interesting name, and I mentally added in my head, and I says by any, and it added to it 24/6. So I says, by any chance, is your one of your parents a Taurus or Libra or born a, she was just saying her parent was, one of her parents was a Taurus. So what I'm
Okay.
saying is that you have your way of gleaning information, just like as a numerologist, I have my way. And what's happening is also in cardology. I don't know if you're familiar with that medium too. In
Uh-huh.
cardology, you can read a name too. So the name has importance for people, and I guess that's why Shakespeare in one of his books says, "What's in a name?" The response being everything, because it does denote things. And in fact, I've met people that have changed their name. Half the people that we see on Hollywood or in music entertainment is not their real name,
Right.
but the name that they chose to for whatever reason that created that frequency. But anyway,
It still carries their frequency. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Whether for good or bad, it still carries their frequency.
Yeah. So now we got a Crystal Hoffler. She,
Hoffler.
yes, Crystal Hoffler, and she's born December the 25th, 1972. And we, after that, we're gonna show how people can get in touch with you. Crystal Hoffler is her name.
Tell her to send her energy towards me.
Okay, Crystal, you know what you need to do, young lady. All right.
I don't know what she does for work. I'm not seeing it. But anyway, okay. What they're saying is stop, stand, pay attention. There's something you need to see. And I do believe it's not related to relationship. I believe it's more related to work of some kind. She needs to stop and pay attention. Sometimes, you know, we're just going with the flow and we're not paying it. Not that we're not paying attention. We're paying attention, but we're paying attention to the surface stuff. So, but there's something else that she needs to see. So she has to stop and stand back and just watch some things for a little bit. Okay.
No, I'm saying it because I can relate numerically speaking, which is when you were doing that, and I mentally looked at her birthday, she is in a seven personal year. Seven is more reflective, where you gotta kind of sit back and go
Oh,
through a
okay.
bit of self-examination. That's why I started smiling,
Oh, okay.
saying, "Wow, that's more on point than you might
Yeah.
know."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. And as I said, it's more about a period of soul searching, things of that nature. And Jaslyn, by the way, just made a donation. Thank you so much, Jaslyn. I really appreciate that. But that's Crystal. She's in a seventh cycle, so it's not about a year of chasing, but a year of laying back, figuring out why she does the things she does. It's you said it another way, as
Yeah.
far as I'm concerned.
Right.
So so it's about 55 minutes into the hour. So we're gonna do one more, and then
Okay.
we're going to also let people know how they can get in touch with you. Okay. So now this person, this is interesting. This person doesn't give a name. He says good evening to us all, but his name is Money Green 48.
Money Green 48.
Yes, this is obviously his room name, internet name, uh, Live with Lloyd name. With that, and by the way, Money Green, send the energies to. uh, to my guest, Athena.
Money Green 23, is that?
48.
48. Where did I
Mm-hmm.
get 23 from? I don't know. Okay.
That's right. He might be born on the 23rd of the month, or she.
Right? Right? Money Green. Okay. He not gonna like this, but they're saying there's some behaviors that you are displaying or that you have displayed and that you continue to display that are not in your best interest, and that although they may not be overt, there's always somebody watching, and I do mean somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Mm-hmm.
have to be cautious about, you have to own up to your shit. In other words,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, just
Yeah.
be clear. You're not exactly getting away with things, small or big.
Well, we think we are.
We do think we are, but we're not. We never do. We don't.
It always comes back.
Absolutely,
If not
absolutely.
now, later. But at some point,
It's
it's the
coming.
boomerang effect. It's the boomerang
Yeah.
effect.
It's what you send out to the universe is what comes back. What you send out, it comes back. If you're sending it out to a person, it's still coming. It's coming back. It's not gonna just stay there. And with the last 2 years of what I've been dealing with, it's been a lot of people who choose to use darker energies to work
Mm-hmm.
with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
I have a wonderful team around me. So
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't exactly boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
But, it does go where it needs to go to return. And it's just interesting, that even with that people don't think that they think they kind of can ride that wave and they're scot free. You're just not. You're not. Definitely
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
I also do past life readings, by the way,
Very good. In
which I
fact,
will not be doing on the phone right now, but I do past life readings for sure.
well, we're going to put your information up here and
Yeah.
any other thing that needs to be added. Now, what I did not do,
Hmm.
but I didn't know whether you do, is give out a phone number. Do you have a phone number? I know you have an IG
Hmm.
and a Instagram, but do you have a phone as per se that you would like to
Yeah,
share?
I will use my phone for the moment, and then eventually I'll change over. For right now, I'll just use my own.
Would you like to give that phone number out or
Yeah,
just
sure.
okay,
Give
please
it.
do, because I didn't put it in the banner.
Hmm. It's 860-776-4866.
Okay, repeat it one more time slower. Thank you.
860-776-4866.
Okay, good, good. So this way people can get in touch with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they see you on your Instagram on soul to soul underscore edify, Facebook soul to soul dot edify, and your cash
Right.
app is I like that. How'd you come up with liquid sky 19 as a dollar sign for cash app?
Um, I believe in the firmament and the water above, water below
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. And I just, it's like far reaching. It was just something I was like, yeah, I'm just interested in that. That's all.
Okay, so please send whatever contributions you make cash wise, a cash app to dollar sign liquid sky 19, and Venmo is uh
Athena Powell.
Athena, Athena Power. Here's the
Yeah.
thing.
And there's a husky there. There's a husky near my name. A husky dog. That's my baby. Near my
Oh,
name. Venmo. Yeah,
okay,
so they'll know
Venmo.
who it is.
Yes. Now, although it sounds one thing, it's spelled another way because it's got the Nia to it, where it would sound like you would say Athenia, but
Right. Well, my
you should
mom,
say
my mom put the
Athena.
I in there because my grandmother's name was Athena as well. So she wanted to give us a little bit of difference. So she put an I in there, but it was still pronounced Athena.
Okay, and your PayPal is at Athena Powell.
Right.
Is that correct?
Correct. Hmm.
All right, so these are all of them. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to announce what's going to take place. I want you to sit tight because I'm just going to have you back just a minute before we sign off officially,
Okay.
okay?
Uh,
So what I want to do is let people know that this week there's a couple other things going on. Again, thanks to King Simon, thanks to Monique, thanks for the wonderful interview that Brother Rich did on the spot right there in Brooklyn with all the noise, the motorcycle. It was incredible. That guy is something else. Okay. So, but thanks to them. As of Wednesday, I'm going to have a cardologist and a numerologist, and they're both going to be on together. So we're going to do readings from beginning to end on Wednesday, the 31st, the last day of the month. They're going to merge both these sciences together. I know numerology is older than cardology. Cardology has been around for a minute, but Jackie Levine and Nina Diamond, as I call her, um, will be doing this on this coming Wednesday. Today and I think tomorrow, my course is on sale. You can get all three courses for less than $40. Okay. Now, if y'all want to give the full amount, beautiful. But my thing is obviously not about the money because if you notice, anytime I promote the course, it is when it's on sale. Go to my website, Lloyd Strayhorn. That's LLOYD Strayhorn, Strayhorn, Lloyd Strayhorn.com. Register for all three courses. You will own them. You will even get a certification when you finish to verify that you took it, a certificate of completion and things of that nature. Sign up for my newsletter. August is over, but September is right around the corner. And I would imagine by Wednesday, you will be receiving your September monthly newsletter in your email box. So go to my website, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. That's LLOYD-Strayhorn, Strayhorn, and sign up for the free monthly newsletter. It is absolutely free. Okay. I do not sell your listing. I don't do that. And also at the same time, register for all three courses. You own them. You go at your own pace. And I do that. I mean, with all this inflation, this way you get some ancient African knowledge under your belt, because this has been around since eons, and so you can get it. Now, I guess if I says, well, you can get it for 1,000, essentially we think that the more we pay for something, the better it is. In a way, that's true, but in a way, that's not true. But this is a case where this is really, really a bargain to get all of this. Okay, so please sign up for the course. Please sign up for the newsletter, all on my website, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. And on Wednesday, you see we'll have two queens. One is of the queen of numerology, one's the queen of cardology, and will be on. And again, I thank King Simon for bringing on such a wonderful, wonderful event on Saturday. It was a powerhouse of an event. So, my dear, by the way, I'm going to put your banner up. And
okay.
again, I want you to say your number slowly again. 860.
Okay. 860-776-4866.
That way they can call you right there, or they hit you up on your Facebook or IG. Send money to her PayPal account, Liquid Sky 19. I don't know where you got that from, but
Yes.
I like that. That has a nice ring to it.
Thank
Liquid
you.
Sky
Also,
19.
I am a teacher. That's really my main thing. That is what I do. And I teach people to open up their gifts and I help them clear up their stuff so they can get to their gifts. So that is one of the main things that I do, even more so than the medium work and the psychic work. As in the year that I've last 2 years that I've been working, I have actually been working with people who are on the other side, helping them clear up some of their stuff, and so that they can move on in different ways from the levels that they find themselves.
Well, I
And that's
think you
been
offer,
very interesting.
I think you offer a great service. So this is interesting. Every time I have a guest, there's a new concept. So when you said send your face or your image to me, I says, okay, that's different. That's different. I had Ellison Nedra, who would then say, may I have your permission? So I noticed every one of you seem to have your own special way of connecting with the guests that's on my show. So I thank you very, very much for that. And you have a blessed day. We'll definitely have you back if you don't mind. And so anyway, you'll get in touch with her. And let me say this, everybody, please enjoy, the day. I hope you have learned something. By the way, add your comments, like, share, subscribe. See, getting a little better. Thanks to Stephen Williams. He says, hit the like button, do that, share and subscribe and the bell button, all that other stuff they say. But anyway, I want to thank you. I'll get the hang of this. I'll get the hang of this. Me, I more want you to have the knowledge. The knowledge is priceless. And when you got the knowledge, you can go anywhere, you can do anything on this planet. And so this is why I guess they want people to be put in a state of ignorance or not knowing. So this whole cancel culture, whatever this other stuff they come up with, woke, I don't know what that's about. But I know the elders used to say, don't woke them, let them sleep, and you better get it together. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So with that, I'm going to see you on Wednesday, everybody. And I thank you very, very much. And I thank my very special guest,
Yes.
Athena. Bye bye, Athena.
I would also like to say I want to thank
Hold
my
on, let me
daughter
get
for
you on. Hold on, let me do this. Go ahead.
I would like to thank my daughter for helping me
Okay,
out.
does she want to make a does she want to make an appearance?
No, she doesn't, but she helped me get everything together, so I appreciate it 100%. She's it's absolutely necessary that she's here for sure.
Well, it's interesting because here right now I have one of my daughters, and she'll say, "Hello, family." In other words, she always let me know one of my girls is watching the show. So
Okay.
it's really, really nice. Okay. God bless you, Athena,
All right.
and you
Thank
take
you.
care of yourself. All right, and
All right.
everybody take care of yourself until Wednesday, and that's in a matter of a couple of days. And thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. Here we go. Talk to you then.